looking at a very large, very old Deodar cedar tree that has recently been partially pruned. It's been chainsaw pruned all the way around. The tree likely had a limb fail, and because of the location, there's a child development center down below. There's probably children underneath it. There was quite a bit of fear associated with the way they pruned it, so they didn't want anything to break. So all the branches were cut back, to stubs all the way around. Many of the stubs up higher are rips. It's the correct time of the year to prune a deodar cedar, but what they probably didn't take into consideration is when you do this kind of pruning on this type of tree, you have some long-term negative impacts that cannot be repaired. All these harsh wounds all the way around have permanently disfigured the tree in a way that's going to be hard to even recognize. Now the tree will continue to fill in, and it will become, from a distance, an apparently decent looking tree. But with all these stubs throughout the whole section, or the whole tree, I mean, look at this area out here. Every single branch has been stubbed off. Directly adjacent to the tree that was just pruned is another mate to the tree that was cut back. And unfortunately, this species is recognized as having limb failures. When one branch breaks, quite often the people that live with the tree call in someone and say, cut it back all the way around. But that can equate to a lot of its own problems as well. So some end weight needs to be done, but it needs to be done a little bit more careful than the way that I showed you on the previous tree. So time will tell, but I can, just from looking at it, I see a number of tears, way up here. This piece up here has a big 12 to 14 inch rip on it. So that tells me that whoever did this job was not really competent or just didn't care. And many of these limbs have so little foliage left on them that I can't imagine this surviving. The stubs that are left throughout the tree. It's really sad to see this sort of work being done, because somebody paid money to have this done to their tree, and it's permanently altered it. And then you could see the mate to it on the other side as well. That's a different tree. That's much more appropriate. I think the biggest problem that I have with this is that because this is such a public building with so many parents that come to pick up their children, not to mention so many children that see what was done to their tree, that there is a continued belief that this must be the right way to do it. When you have an education system that either goes for the lowest price or doesn't bother to pay attention to what's right for a tree and what is not right for a tree, that's pretty scary, because the children learn by example. And frankly, if any of my guys had done this to this tree, they certainly would not be working for me anymore. This video isn't about who did something wrong or the people that had the work done wrong. It's more about the fact that this is a problem across the country. More and more companies don't have a clue as to what is right and what is wrong. I'm trying to show that in these videos. So you could help me by passing this video on to other people, and hopefully we could be the catalyst for the beginning of some change. In any case, thanks for taking the time to view this presentation, and check out my other videos. You can go to my YouTube site by typing in Arborist Blair Glenn. Thanks a lot.